So the subconscious mind receives any image that is transferred to it by the conscious mind under strong emotion. So if you are a little kid and there's a lot of emotion in the house and you see your mother fall down and ending up getting a bump on her head and it bleeds a little bit. As a child, your look at that is going to probably be like a gash as opposed to a little bump on the head. And your emotional experience that you had while that was happening, because there was already emotions running high in the home, will leave an imprint on that young child's mind. And it's that type of strength that it takes to reach the subconscious. I'm not suggesting that anything's going to happen to this little girl subconsciously. I'm trying to give you an example of an emotional state that can imprint the subconscious. I hope that was a good enough one. The subconscious mind receives any image that is transferred to it by the conscious mind under strong emotion. Think of the pair as a camera. The conscious mind acts as a lens, concentrating the image of our desires and bringing them to a point on the film of the subconscious. Getting good pictures with this camera is the same as it is with any other. The focus must be sharp, there must be good exposure, and the timing must be right. Now, correct focus requires a clear definition of purpose. The composition of the photo must be made with care and precision. You decide what to include in the frame. The proper timing is determined by the intensity of our desire at the moment of exposure. Experienced photographers rarely take just one shot of an important image. They work at it again and again until they get the photo that they want. Now, this sort of repeated exposure of the subconscious to the image of our desire is crucial. We must work at the process repeatedly until we have transferred the exact image we want into our subconscious mind. There's some tricks to doing that. I ran across a write-up of some guy that said a good way to, he suggested that in the 80s or whatever, a while ago, they had subliminal messages planted into video, and that these subliminal messages were essentially a flash of a sign that says something like drink Coca-Cola, and you're watching a movie and it flashes so fast you can't see it with your conscious mind, but apparently your subconscious mind can see it. So it imprints into your subconscious mind, and you go out and all of a sudden you're buying a Coke and you don't even know why. That's real. So if that is real, then perhaps we can mimic that. And this one guy said that he took a flashlight and set an alarm for every 2 hours, and he put a flashlight on what he wanted. Like if it was a picture, if it was $100 or $1,000,000, he would have a check written out for $1,000,000, and he would flash that light on that check every 2 hours. The only thing I could see him doing to increase that is to get highly emotionalized. That would imprint it on the subconscious. Now the goal is to pass that onto the subconscious, so the subconscious can start bringing natural means and ways to achieve that end. That's the thought process. Correct focus requires a definiteness of purpose. So when we are thinking of ourselves as a camera, we have to have that correct focus. The composition of the photo must be made with care and precision if we decide what to include in the frame. We decide what to include in the frame. The proper timing is determined by the intensity of our desire at the moment of exposure. Experienced photographers rarely take just one shot of an important image. I already read this part, didn't I? This sort of repeated exposure to the subconscious mind is crucial. We must work at the process repeatedly until we have transferred the exact image we want into our subconscious mind. Don't be afraid of working ourselves up into a highly emotional state when we are impressing images upon our subconscious. When our purpose is a worthy one, you don't need to fear of this type of autosuggestion. The intensity with which you impress your subconscious with a picture of your plan directly affects the speed with which the subconscious will go to work to attract the picture's physical counterpart by inspiring you to take the right steps. All right, so how can I use this in my life? I need employees. I need somebody to come and participate in my business with me and help me get this business going. And I need to attract the right people into my life. Employees are hard to find, especially good ones, right? So if I wanted to utilize this, I could get a picture of somebody that I would consider a good employee and get into an emotionalized state and imprint that picture of that good employee upon my mind. Let's take an object, a car. I need a car. I need a service van, is better said. I can get a picture of a service van and I can get into emotional, yes, and look at that picture of that van and get in an emotionalized state, and that will bring it into my subconscious mind quicker. Now, the quicker I get it into my subconscious mind, with the more emotionalized that I get it into my subconscious mind, the better. That's what it's saying. Now, Andrew Carnegie, putting definiteness of purpose to work.